That's how it starts, ladies and gentlemen. And this is the beginning of our beginning of the week live stream, beginning of the streaming week for us here on the portal. But thank you, everybody, for being here and being a part of the journey as always. Thank you so much. I just love y'all. I always miss doing these shows. And I got this little squishy ball. I don't know, it came free in something, but it says don't give up. So I got it right here up on my power conditioner in front of me. Don't give up. Hey, David Barnes, how you doing, brother? Hey, Barbara Mora, good to see you. David Hedesheimer, good to see you. Lanita Bryant, excellent to see you. SoCal Squatchers up in the house. And I'm just going to keep rolling through this as quick as I can. John Stevenson is here. Still got his dapper picture up there. The guy's very well dressed. And Foot Clan is here. Don't tell the turtles. Good to see you, Foot Clan. Thanks for coming in. Maggie M10 is here. Sinfully Wicked is here. Barbara Mora. So, Calfoot, Chucky, Rachel. Rachel gets it right is here. Again, David Barnes is here. Good to see you, David. Hope everything's going good, brother. And hope you're jamming some good tunes for us. Let's see. Looking Chucky Danger. Did I say Chucky? I might have. But I'm saying it again. Chucky, good to see you, brother. We didn't get your question of the week last week. So because of, well, I was a little predisposed, but we'll get into that in a little bit here. For those of you that might not have watched the live stream on Saturday night, late Saturday night, it was a good one. It was a really good one. Vincent Sanchez is here. Grateful Owl is here. Good to see you guys. John Stevenson. Yeah, that's the same John. I keep thinking, I got to remember whether I said Stevenson or Temperance, but then I'll look at the picture and I remember which one I'm talking to. And, the Johns anyway, but only one of the Johns is here so far that I've seen. I'm just looking to see if I've missed anybody else yet. You guys are just coming in hot, which is just wonderful. And everybody was ready. I did a poll. Press 1 if you're ready. Press 0 if you hit the wrong link. Nobody hit 0. Thank God. Thank God. I think that's everybody. Yeah. I think I got everybody at least up until the very beginning. Let's see if somebody else is coming in. Channels of my own. It was just the other day, but I watched stuff on 3 or 4 different channels. Channels of my own. What? Do you have you have other channels, Foot Clan? Is that what you're saying? That's great. Fantastic. Congrats, and hope those are going good for you, brother. Thank you. Just seeing if anybody else. Josh Casto came in. Good to see you, Josh. Neil Alberding is here. Hey, Neil. Great to see you, brother. And Annie Manul. Good to see you. And I'm trying to catch up. I think that's everybody that has been chatting so far. Not necessarily everybody that's here, but everybody that's talking. Now, we also have Barbara Mora over on the Rumble along with Big D. 1955. Good to see you both over there. Thank you so much. On Rumble, and it's growing. It's again, I don't advertise over there any more than I advertise here on YouTube. So, but we've got 199 followers right now on YouTube. So, or on Rumble. We've got 14,000 something on YouTube. So it's growing. It's going good on YouTube, but it's been, YouTube channel has existed since 2017. So maybe not as good as I wish, but it's doing pretty good. It's always growing, and that's a good thing. But Rumble is more of a newer endeavor for us. And we're almost at the 200 mark for followers, and that's wonderful. So great to see you guys over on Rumble, starting to see that we're there. And tuning in and checking out the shows. Thank you so much. And hello to Twitch. Anybody over there? I'm not really sure. But we don't see a whole lot going on over at Twitch. But, I keep streaming there just in case somebody might be interested. We've had a few people pop in and talk about that they like the show, but then they never came back. So it's like, oh. Or unless they are. And I'm not seeing messages from them or whatever. But that's fine. It's not necessarily a prerequisite to have to chat, but it's hard to say thank you for if anybody's there. Now, what happened on Saturday? Well, there was no live stream on Saturday, and I saw a few comments about people like looking around like, where is there a show? Is there not a show? And I did everything I could to let you guys know. I, of course, talked about it on Friday night that there wouldn't be a live show on Saturday. And I think I mentioned it on Wednesday as well, that there wouldn't be a live show Saturday. And the reason there wasn't a live show is because I went on an overnight investigation with my good friend, Mr. Charles Howard Johnson, to a pub near here. It's a bar. It's a bar and grill, kind of a bar and restaurant. It's really more than just a bar and grill. And it's called DMACS, DMACS. And it's this wonderful old establishment that's got at least rumored to have a lot of activity. And I've been there a couple times before with Charles, once with Charles and once with Don and Charles. And both times were pretty quiet, except the first time I was there, my phone dialed 911 by itself. And I had to try to explain to a 911 operator why I was calling when I didn't have an emergency. So that was weird, exceptionally weird. And then it flatlined after the whole night after that. Now, the second night we were there, we had some weird stuff happening, but it's hard to correlate it to being paranormal for sure. We had a lot of weird blips as far as on the, I think it was the REM pod was making some noise or something like that, but it wasn't consistent, and it didn't necessarily seem intelligent. It was just kind of stuff popping off, and so that is anomalous, but is it necessarily an intelligent haunting? No. But I'm here to tell you, Saturday night, Charles and I were not disappointed. We had some incredible stuff going on, and the beauty of it was, ladies and gentlemen, we had some stuff going on for the hours before I live streamed, but I'm here to tell you, when I decided to live stream, things popped off. We got some great evidence, and it was all live on the stream as it was happening in real time. We had some ice cold Arctic drops in temperature. I mean, we were both freezing suddenly. We'd been comfortable all night, and then all of a sudden it was like we were sitting in a deep freezer. My legs, I'm here to tell you that after that night, and after sleeping there as well, on the floor next to a pool table, I did have an air mattress though, but I was frozen from the time we streamed until much later the next day on Sunday at home. It took me forever to warm up again, and maybe I was using my heat energy. I don't know. But my God, yeah, Bigfoot Michigan Rob was there watching the live stream, and it was intense. I'm here to tell you, we had stuff popping off like I was not expecting. Again, I'd been there a couple times before. I didn't know what to expect ever, because you just don't know with the paranormal. It's not on a schedule. It doesn't happen on such a date at such a time, and whatever. But we do think there was a correlation between perhaps the frequency of streaming may have energized them, because we were getting intelligent responses once in a while prior to the stream, but after we started the stream, man, it was like whatever. It's like they ate their spinach, like a Popeye thing, it's like ba-ding, ba-ding, like the hands get the size of mallets, and yeah, that's what it was like. That was like suddenly there was a whole bunch of more energy, and they were just popping off with 3 different detection methods simultaneously. Like it wasn't just one thing going off and then maybe something else went off. It was like 3 things with different detection methods going off in unison. So it was some profound energy. It was really fantastic. And so if you haven't seen that stream, it is live on the YouTube channel right now. And I may upload it to Rumble as well. But several of you have checked it out. And if you didn't catch it live, you can catch the replay. But I'm here to tell you, we got some strange, cool stuff happening. It was a really powerful night. And I was just so thrilled that it was happening live. I mean, you guys could see. We were just sitting at this table in the dining room area, and with a REM pod with the I don't remember the official name, but I would just call it the yes no detector. It's that black pyramid with the green and red light of mine. I had that set up. We had a K2 meter, And Charles eventually brought out his K2 meter, and we had synchronicity between our meters to some degree. And then sometimes just his would go off like it was in a different position. But we had simultaneously captures on triggers of this stuff. And then Charles did open up Spirit Talker app. And then we got some great, I don't think everything it spit out was legitimate, but potential relevance. However, some things it spit out were just like, we were both shocked. We were both like, oh my God. One of the things was, as I was streaming, I pointed over to the distant game room. I said, and that's where we're sleeping tonight, so we're going to be here all night. And then it was like a minute or so later, on the Spirit Talker app, which I've used here on the live show before, it said, don't sleep here. Now, I've never seen that come through with the Spirit Talker when I've used it before, so that was brand new to me. And I was just like, oh my God, that really shocked me. So it was like all of the triggers and then those intelligent responses like that. That was the most intelligent response of the night on the Spirit Talker that definitely tied into what I just said. So it was crazy. So that stream is out there. I don't know exactly how long it is. I think it was like an hour and a half that we streamed live, and the whole experience was just really energetic and powerful. And Charles and I wondered, Charles, I think, asked out loud, is like, I'm wondering if this energy is going to drop off then when we're done streaming. And sure enough, I mean, we still had some hits afterwards, but nothing like we had during that live stream. That live stream really energized things crazy. So that was a cool experience. That's why we didn't do a live show on Saturday, was because I was there. But I did stream an hour and a half live of the investigation for you guys. And I did do some recording and stuff off stream, but I don't think I'm going to bother to even try to make a video because the video is already there. All of the greatest activity happened on the live stream, which is now on demand on YouTube. You can find it under the investigations playlist if you want to check it out for yourself. But yeah, it was just no joke. It was great. So that's enough of me going through that. The video's out there. We may end up going into a clip or two later. I don't know. I'll pull it up so you guys can see. Paranormal Portal, did you sleep well after the last few sentences on the app? It took me a long time to fall asleep. Charles fell asleep pretty quick. And I was so damn cold. And I brought a really big blanket with me, but I was still just shivering. And it was the ambient temperature in there was 60 some degrees, like 61, 62. But it felt like it was about 40. I mean, I just could not get warm. So I don't know if maybe that presence was just in there and just still sucking my body heat out or whatever, but I was frozen all night. And so I didn't sleep well. And honestly, we only slept a few hours. We packed up and got out of there by 7 a.m. So I think we finally went to sleep at about 3, and Charles fell asleep pretty quickly, and I probably fell asleep at about 3:40. I was about 40 minutes just laying there, and the other part is we're in the game room, and some of those games are on, and they just do their random noise crap all the time. So it's like suddenly there's a loud helicopter noise and machine guns and squealing tires and stuff. It's like, oh God, I was just getting into the sleep part. But anyway, I did finally fall asleep a little bit. I never fall asleep. I slowly lay down and then sleep. Yeah. It was kind of that way. I didn't sleep real quick. I have fell asleep many times really quickly. Don't usually have a hard time falling asleep, actually, now that I think about it, but I did there. Brent, whenever I do old bars and restaurants, I always get super cold. They're never anywhere else. Yeah. I mean, that's the only bar I've ever done is that place, but I'm here to tell you, and I've slept there all 3 times, and I froze all 3 times, but especially this time. Even though the first time I was there, it was in the dead of winter when it was really cold outside, and it was chilly, but once I got under my blanket and stuff, I was fine. But on Saturday night, I don't know, I was already sitting in that deep freeze when that presence was out there, or presence is, and it was like I had no heat. I just was ice cold. I had to stand next to the I don't know, it's a natural gas fireplace kind of thing. And I stood in front of that for about 30 minutes trying to warm up a little bit. And I had insulated clothes on and everything. But it was just really, really cold. Not a fan of the spiritual cold. Me either, Chucky. And it's not something, I mean, I've felt it in passing, but this is the first time that I've ever felt it like on top of me, or like first Charles and I felt it as if it was coming from our left to the right, and it kind of moved through, and we were both getting cold on our left side and my right side was fine. But then as the activity really picked up and we're streaming, and then it was like right in front of us, and it was like my hands were cold, my face was cold, and my legs were under the table, and they were, well, close to under the table, but they were freezing. So it was like whatever was there was right there at the table, and it was crazy. So it might have been more mobile than that, but it was relatively always cold in front of me after that breeze came by. And then it was like right there and stayed there. And as long as we streamed, my body temperature kept getting lower and lower. By the time I was done, my fingers were actually like ice, like I'd been outside making snowballs. And my legs were cold like I was laying in the snow. It was crazy cold. So, but it wasn't a natural cold is all I can say. It was just, it didn't matter that I had insulated, jeans on, like the work jeans that have the insulation built into them. It was like I could have just been wearing shorts. So anyway, I just wanted to give you an idea. Yeah, God, -2 Celsius, 31 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, I mean, it was, again, this is a heated building. It's not like a closed up building that we were investigating. This is an actual active place where the bar is always open and they have, nights. That's how it was for me at both ones I investigated. On the normal investigations, when I feel spirit, I get goosebumps on the side where the spirit is near me. Okay. Could you see your breath anytime? Nope. Never did see my breath. Nope. It wasn't like that. I never got that. I'm not sure if that's a real common experience anyway. It could be that people, I mean, maybe it didn't get it just felt horribly cold, like suddenly. And it was when we were doing the live stream, when that energy really pumped up, suddenly it was like the temperature just went out. It was crazy. Gifted 5 memberships, bad boys rolling in. Nathan from the Quantum Show became a member. Ristol got one. Neil S. Blondes and Booze Paranormal is here. Outstanding. And Chris in real life. Blondes and Booze, is that you, Krista? I hope it is. Good to see you here. Thank you for coming in, if it is. I think it is. But anyway, yeah, thank you, bad boy. I appreciate that. That's awesome. So that was the investigation. That's why we didn't do a show. I've been going on and on about it. But I've been dying to talk to you guys about it after the fact. And so that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about. But please check out that video. I think you'll enjoy it. Again, the big takeaway for me was that we were getting hits actively at the same time on the REM pod, which is using electrostatic field around an antenna. And then the K2, which is checking on EM fields. We had 2 K2s on the table eventually, and both or one of them would go off but the REM pod would go off. And then the yes/no detector, which is a proximity detector. And it can also detect temperature fluctuations, but Charles had put up another item which measured temperature, and we only got little tenths of a degree fluctuations there. So whatever we were feeling didn't seem to be registering as an actual room temperature, which was really weird. Anyway, it's all there on the video. More sound effects. That's all you're getting. Gotta deal them out lightly, otherwise you'll get played out. All right, so I do want to get to the news because that's what's coming up first. And there's a ton of news since we didn't do a show on Saturday. So all the news articles that from Unexplained-Mysteries built up. And so we're going to pick through a few of those. And then I got a special segment. We don't do a lot here. And we're going to do it. Werewolf 5674. How you doing? Thanks for coming in. Oh, I want to make an announcement too, folks. Tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Pacific time, I'm going to be joining Rob and Tex on Rob's show. So check out Bigfoot Michigan Rob's channel. I'm going to be over there with Tex and Rob in the morning, and love to join you to start the day. SoCal Squatcher, God bless you. God bless you. Yeah, I'm going to be over there with Rob and hanging out with he and Tex, and it's always a great time when we get together, and lots of great discussions between the three of us, and so I hope you'll check it out. I was also on Paranormal Paul with who was I on there with? It was Tex, wasn't it? Yeah, with Tex. Yeah, Paranormal Paul and Tex. I'm sorry. My head's kind of like spaghetti today. I've just been going so many different directions. So I'm trying to keep it all straight. I've been doing a lot of different appearances. I also appeared on a podcast out of Japan that Grandizer apparently told them they should have me on. And so they did. And I can't remember the exact name of it right now, but it was a lot of fun to talk with them too. And, oh my God, what happened? Sinfully Wicked. Thank you. More memberships. Rob, you're official now. Rob's a member. That would be wonderful. Benjamin Cristoval, welcome. Peter Frampton. I love your music. Peter Frampton, that's cool. I haven't heard that name for a long time. Kelly Starlight and JG are all members now. Thank you so much. Again, I don't do a lot for members perks. I apologize, but literally I'm a one-man show and I'm doing a lot of shows. So I'm doing the best I can, and I still have a ton of videos that I got to get done. Hopefully before Christmas, but you know how it is. But anyway, I'm sorry to keep flapping my lips. Let's get to the news and find out just what's going on in the news-averse. Hopefully you find at least some of this interesting and entertaining, and you don't feel like it's wasted time. Let's get to the news, folks. Thank you, Phil. Appreciate that. It's no worries. Don't worry if you can't chat. I appreciate that you're here. That's all that matters, PG. Thank you so much. All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for the Paranormal Portal News Desk, where we're going to dive into the Paranormal Portal news of the day. And throughout the course of the show, we utilize a lot of different sites. Please, please, please visit these sites. These sites are amazingly well done, much like the news site, which is often we use unexplained-mysteries.com. Amazing site. We utilize Sasquatch Chronicles quite a bit. Amazing site as well, not just a podcast, but the actual blog is amazing. And then we utilize Phantoms and Monsters, which is Lon Stricker's site, and all of these sites are amazing, and so many more, like Listverse. Sometimes we use Listverse, sometimes we use Thought Catalog, and any others. But just please know, these sites are all working really hard to provide great entertainment and information, and your traffic is necessary to keep their lights on. So please give them visits and check out the tons of articles that they have on all of them, and great information. So I hope you'll do that. It would mean a lot to me, because I do want to support these sites any way we can. They are so exceptionally well done, and the least we can do is try to bring them more traffic for all their efforts. They are incredible. So, all right, the first news article is coming from a site that we know and love, which I have already mentioned, but we're going to mention it again. This is unexplained-mysteries.com, ladies and gentlemen. It's the first one, and this one's kind of a sad state of news. And it's one of those, I've never been there, but I would like to visit all of these. I think it's amazing, and it's the story is from unexplained-mysteries.com. California's Bigfoot Discovery Museum to close its doors after 20 years. And that's a heartbreaker. I'm sorry to see that, because, these people, I mean, obviously they do it because they love the topic. They love the idea of perpetuating information and sharing information and encounters and accounts. And oftentimes they have really great castings on display, as well as articles and information. So wherever you find these museums, these are labors of love for these people. None of these people are getting rich doing this. So your love and support really means the world. And if you're into the subject of Bigfoot, try to find one in your region and go visit it, and help to perpetuate their business, because right now it's double tough for anybody to stay in business. But, a niche market like Bigfoot is even tougher, but I think there's a huge community of followers and believers and people interested in researching this. And these are great repositories for information. Oftentimes you can get a look at local maps where sightings are happening in the region of the museum, and those are excellent. So there's just a lot of reasons to go check these out. So please support them. But unfortunately, this one's not going to be continuing. And let's read the article. The famous attraction had long proven a popular destination for those with an interest in cryptozoological mysteries. Situated in the small town of Felton, among California's Santa Cruz Mountains, the museum was founded by Michael Rugg, whose imminent retirement will mark the end of an era for the attraction. Hosting all manner of Bigfoot-related items ranging from plaster casts to an exhibit all about the famous Patterson-Gimlin film, the museum is a unique homage to the mystery of Sasquatch. Anywhere from 30 to 70 people come in the door, and they'll check out everything. And I show them our local sighting map. There you go. And they're usually amazed to see how many sightings there have been in this area. Rugg told NBC News, "I was amazed too, because when I opened it, I didn't expect that to happen." Well, sadly, the museum won't be continuing after Rugg retires in the near future. It's going to be weird for me," he said. "I'm so used to this, and I've been doing this for so long. To suddenly have it all go away and everything is going to be strange." Rugg himself gained a keen interest in the Bigfoot phenomena after witnessing what he now believes to have been one of the creatures in the woods when he was just a child. His interest in the topic culminated in the opening of the museum back in the early 2000s. All good things, though, as they say, must come to an end. You can check out a local report about the museum's closure below. Let's check that out. Where's this from? From KSBW Action News 8 on their YouTube channel. So let's check it out.
The Bigfoot Discovery Museum in the Santa Cruz Mountains is set to close its doors after decades of enchanting the public.
It's going to be weird. It's going to be weird for me, yeah. I'm so used to this, and I've been doing this for so long. To suddenly have it all go away and everything, it's going to be strange.
The iconic museum, located alongside Highway 9 in Felton, has embodied the quirkiness of Santa Cruz for 20 years. But as owner Michael Rugg retires, the museum will retire alongside him.
Well, anywhere from 30 to 70 people come in the door, and they'll check everything out, and I show them our local sighting map, and they're usually amazed to see how many sightings there have been in this area. I was amazed too, because when I opened it, I didn't expect that to happen.
Rugg says he first saw Bigfoot when he was a kid.
I looked across the river, I looked upstream, and then when I looked back towards the woods, whoa, here's this big hairy guy standing there looking at me. And we had eye contact for about a count of 3. Then I heard my mother screaming, "Mikey, where are you?" So I thought, oh, geez, I better get back.
The museum boasted statues, collectibles, plaster foot, and handprints of the creature and a detailed exhibit on the Patterson-Gimlin film. And for visitors, it was all about the what if.
Read all the details, take into account what is there, what could be, and keep your mind open when you're trying to go through it all. So just enjoy it.
Yeah, 100%.
Rugg says it's a bittersweet goodbye, both to the museum and to the community.
I would say thank you for your support. Thank you for coming in, bringing in friends and relatives. It has helped make this happen. This is a wonderful community here in Santa Cruz. I just love this place.
Aw, that's sad though, isn't it? I mean, that's cool. I'd love to go to that place. I don't know when he's closing his doors, but I'm betting I'm probably not going to make it there before that. But it does make me sad that that's going to be something like a relic of the past. You can, I mean, the guy's got an oxygen tube, so his health's not great, and he probably has to give it up because he just can't keep the hours going. But God bless him. That's pretty amazing, and yeah. So if you know of a Bigfoot museum in your area, definitely go out and support it. Go visit, go learn what you can, and have a good time. Yeah, that's pretty tragic, but it's kind of the way of the world. Things come and go all the time. But there you go. You may not have known that before today, but now you know. All right, let's get to the next article that we're going to cover. This one's pretty crazy. I don't know how long it is, though, but it's kind of a scary thought, really. I don't know what this means for sure. I don't know what this means. No, it's not too long. It's not too long, so we can read it okay. Let's get to this, ladies and gentlemen. The second article on our newscast tonight, unexplainedmysteries.com, brings us Science and Technology. Google's new quantum computer chip may interact with parallel universes. Really? I don't know how that works, but that's kind of a frightening thing, right? Is that like ringing the dinner bell? Like, oh, we're here. I don't know what's in the parallel universes necessarily, but what if it's sketchy? All right, let's see what's going on. Google's unveiled a new type of quantum chip capable of performing certain computations insanely quickly. Quantum computing has taken another significant step towards widespread commercial adoption this week with the unveiling of Willow, Google's new state-of-the-art quantum chip, which is capable of performing certain calculations at a rate so mind-bogglingly fast that it almost seems impossible. For example, the new chip was able to perform what Google describes as a standard benchmark computation in under 5 minutes, which might not sound particularly impressive until you discover that performing the same computation on one of the world's fastest conventional supercomputers would take more time to complete than the entire age of the universe. Whoa, that's scary fast. Wow. Willow performed a standard benchmark computation in under 5 minutes that would take one of today's fastest supercomputers 10 septillion, that is 10 to the 25th power years, a number that vastly exceeds the age of the universe, Google wrote in a press release. So how exactly is the new chip able to accomplish something like this? In truth, this is the scary part, right? In truth, nobody is entirely sure. Unplug it now. Unplug it now. That's my advice. Though Google has offered up one possibility. It lends credence to the notion that quantum computation occurs in many parallel universes, in line with the idea that we live in a multiverse, a prediction first made by David Deutsch, the search giant, wrote. So could Google have really developed a computer that interacts with parallel universes? Well, until we know more about how quantum computers actually work, it remains a genuine possibility. Kill the power. Kill it. Kill it. Kill it now until you know. Don't. Oh my God. That's the kind of stuff like, should we? I don't know, but can we? Yeah, I think we can. But should we? Well, that's another question. That's not how this should work, right? I mean, because we just don't know. I mean, yeah, it's doing fast math, basically, is what it's doing. But how is it doing fast math? If the people that are making it don't even know, what the hell does that mean? That's not really comforting. Yeesh, I don't know. I don't know what to make of that, but I'm like genuinely uncomfortable with that idea. It's like, wow, we don't know why it works, but it works. It's like, yeah, well, I wouldn't expect chimpanzees to be able to build a hand grenade, but all they got to know is how to pull the pin. Well, we pulled the pin. We just don't know what the hell's going on behind that, I guess. That's spooky. That's spooky to me. What do you guys think? Is that scary to you, or is that just me? 1 in chat if that bothers you. 1 in chat if that news bothers you, or 0 if you don't really care. If you think, oh, that's fine. Yeah, it's fine. I get good frame rate. Can you imagine a first-person shooter on a quantum computer? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, all right. I'm not alone here. This is like concerning, right? Yeah. It's like people are just poking into. Yeah, it's quantum, but they don't even know how it's doing this quantum computations. Might be working in parallel universes. What does that mean? And what is the effect on that? Is it benign, or could it be like creating tsunamis and stuff in other universes? I mean, we don't know, right? I mean, I know that's a bizarre statement to make, but what kind of effect is that having if it's implementing energetic exchange with other universes? What is that effect having on those other universes? Is it possible that you're like introducing natural disasters every time you do some math? I mean, I don't know. It's a bizarre statement to make. I don't know. But that's kind of what bothers me. We should probably know before we start. Hey, we did it. What did we do? Well, we're not quite sure, but we did it. Oh, yeah, that's a great idea. Humans will always poke the bear. Yes, they will. Yes, they will, Barbara. You're absolutely right. I saw an AI program that watches employees at coffee shop and counts how many coffees each person serves. If they don't meet a threshold, they get a letter of dismissal automatically. Yeah, that's about the time people need to quit working for that company, because that's some real BS right there. If we are not machines, we're not machines. I mean, efficiency, that's great. But if I'm working for AI overlords, then I would expect that. But if I'm working for a coffee shop, it's not like you're operating a life-saving operation, or that something should be watching to make sure you do things correctly. You're freaking making an espresso or a latte. It's like, it's okay if you're not jamming, like a machine. Man, these companies take themselves way too seriously. There is human elements. As long as there's human elements, don't expect machine performance. That's just ridiculous. I love drinking coffee. I'm with you, Grandizer. I drink coffee every morning. A lot of it. Probably too much, but I love it. But, that's just not not just that, but the amount of work is subjective. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can't serve a coffee if nobody's coming in to buy one. So, what are they going to do? You should be out waving that flag. Get the people in the door. If you're not making coffee, you should be out there swinging the banner. It's like, yeah, screw you and your job. I'd rather scrub toilets than deal with that. No offense to toilet scrubbers. We love you, and you're important. But anyway, let's get to more of this strangeness. No room for nuance with AI, like psychopaths. Yeah, it seems like it. I mean, AI is just doing what it's told to do, but unfortunately, some idiot on the top tier just thought that'd be a great use of it. Like, let's have the AI watch people to make sure they're making enough coffee. It's like, yeah, well, I mean, that's what feedback is from customers. Did they make your coffee? Yes. Okay, done. Doesn't matter how fast they made it. Did they make it to your pleasure, to your satisfaction? Yes. Okay, good. Then my people are doing good. Yeah. Anyway, people are not machines. Damn it. Not now or ever. All right, let's get to this one. Maybe not that one. I don't know. That one's kind of fear. That's like fear porn for me. I don't know. I guess we could read it, but I pulled it up, but I'm like, be afraid, be very afraid. I'm always hesitant about news that's like that. It's like, oh, yeah, great, good thing you guys tuned in, because there's all kinds of new stuff you should be afraid of now. It's like, that's why I quit watching the news. It was because of news like that. It's like, well, now over in whatever, home invasions are up 33%, and now to Becky for the weather. It's like, oh, thanks. I feel really good now. Anyway, this is one dealing with a new mystery disease from Science and Technology. I don't know, how big is it? Oh, it's too big to read anyway. I'll put the link in the chats if you guys want to read it. I'm just not really interested in the fear porn, but I'll put it in there if you guys want to check it out and learn a little more about something new that allegedly you should be afraid of, and you should probably hide in a closet with your favorite blanket until it passes. It's like, after COVID, I think we're all pretty good with the fear porn. Not that some people didn't have a real hard time with the COVID stuff, but I just don't think you can live your life being afraid. That's just a crappy way to live. Anyway, let's go to actual news. Let's see, what one is this one? Oh, this one is kind of interesting. How long is it? This is the perfect length, but it's kind of interesting. I don't know. And again, this isn't a slap at anybody's religious ideals or beliefs. This is just the news and me reporting something that came up in the news. This is from unexplained-mysteries.com. Metaphysics and Psychology says, declassified Pentagon report suggests that reincarnation really exists. Now, I'm open-minded to the idea because I think that there's too much to learn here to do it in one go around, and it probably takes several to learn what we're supposed to learn here before we go on. But that's my personal belief. It doesn't have to be yours, and I could be absolutely wrong. Don't ever believe anything because I say this is what I think. I'm an idiot with a microphone. That's the only difference. The report, which was written back in 1983, makes the bold assertion that consciousness never dies. I can get behind that. Do we reincarnate after death and go on to live a whole other life as someone else? Many people think so, and there have even been cases of very young children who seem to possess inexplicable knowledge about their past selves that has later been independently verified as true. According to one declassified Pentagon file, even U.S. Army intelligence officials believed, at least at one point, that reincarnation could actually be a very real phenomenon. Written in 1983, the 29-page report entitled Analysis and Assessment of the Gateway Process was penned by U.S. Army Lieutenant Colonel Wayne M. McDonnell and was commissioned in relation to a highly secretive project known as Gateway, which was described as a training system designed to bring enhanced strength, focus, and coherence to alter consciousness. The process reportedly involves shifting the consciousness of participants, that word didn't come easy to me for some reason, outside the physical sphere so as to ultimately escape even the restrictions of time and space. It turned out that the project may have inadvertently discovered evidence of reincarnation when participants began to remember all the memories accumulated through experience in reality. In other words, they claim to have been able to recall details of their own past lives. That said, it is important to note that the entire project was highly controversial, to say the least, meaning that any reincarnation-related discoveries to come out of it were anything but definitive. But even so, the report itself is definitely worth a read for those with an interest in the subject, and you can find the declassified reports on the CIA's website here. I'm going to put a link if anybody wants to read that declassified report. I will put it in the chat and you guys can check it out. That's one way you can help support this site, is by following these links, but just do it after the show if you would. I'd like for you to stay here with me. Stay with me. Don't go. I need you. You complete me. All right. So anyway, that's interesting. I think that's going to wrap it up for the news because I know we're going to be running pretty far behind the bar. And I want to get to one other part of the show that we don't get to do very often. But when it happens, I like to bring it to you. So without further delay, let's get to that part. Here we go. Welcome to Comments from the Cheap Seats, ladies and gentlemen. And this is where I like to take a moment to shine sunlight on under the creepy little infections in chats and comments that I get when I get them. And granted, I don't get a lot of these, but I do get them. And so I thought, my God, this is a special kind of stupid. So I'm going to make sure to let you guys see it and we'll talk about it. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is the new Cheap Seats. Just happened on, actually on Saturday. I posted this on Saturday. What did I post? Well, it was on Facebook. I posted this. No regular stream tonight. Off on an investigation. Simple enough. Straightforward, right? And then Captain Chuckles shows up and says this. And I'm like, well, you're a brick. What the hell what do you mean, so? So I was like, well, like anything else, if someone's going to leave me a comment, I think I owe them a response. So I had to respond. I don't know if he got it. Never did hear from him again. but it's like, what the hell is this? So I don't know. He never answered, so I guess he might have figured it out or just decided it wasn't worth his trouble anymore. But there you have it. This is another segment of comments from the cheap seats, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't know how else to break it down into more stupid than that, so I thought that was fun. Anyway, I figure if somebody's going to take enough time to be an idiot on my post, then I'm going to take enough time to make them as famous as I can. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is today's comments from the cheap seats. Hope you liked it. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. The comments from the cheap seats. It's kind of like the sports section of the Paranormal Portal news. So anyway, let's get back to the rest of the show. This has been the Paranormal Portal news. If that's the case, Grandizer, he should probably proofread his posts before he hits enter. His inability to check his work does not equate my need to be more understanding. There you go. Yeah, I guess so. Maybe people get jealous. I don't know. Or maybe it just wasn't a good enough excuse. He was just so disappointed there wasn't a live stream. But there was a live stream, and it included the investigation. So I just thought, well, let's shine a little sunlight on that. Sunlight's the best disinfectant, they say. And I don't know if it mattered to that person, but it mattered to me. So anyway, all right. Why, Phil? You've never left me any crappy comments. If you leave me a crappy comment, it could be you, but I hope you wouldn't do that. You know, I come to know and love you. Don't want you to, end up on the cheap seats. Brent, maybe you thought your message was one of those magic eye pictures, kept staring at it. Yeah, I don't think there's much magic in those eyes. Yeah, I hear you, though. You don't get the Paranormal Portal notifications on Facebook? I post the posts prior to the shows, at least by a half hour, sometimes a little longer, but I try to get the posts up notifying about the shows, including on YouTube as well. Like I put in the community's notes, so it should be up there. Crappy comments stink. Yeah. I leave nice comments, Brother Brent. Yeah, for sure you do, Jason. You leave a lot of nice comments, actually. Jason Finch is like a serial commenter. He'll leave about 5 comments on each video he watches. It's nice. You're really pampering the algorithm for me. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. Feed him the D-hole. Oh, feed him to the D-hole. I was like, what? I'm not going to feed anybody the D-hole. I misread that at first, Chucky. Anyway, that's the comments from the cheap seats. All right. I think we might as well try to do this, maybe. Let me just see if I can pull this up quick. I want to see, because I wanted to show you guys just a little snippets of that investigation, because by God, it was fun. It really was. Where is it? Paranormal. I think I'd have my own freaking channel up here. Paranormal Paranormal Paul. No, it's Paranormal Portal. There we go. I'm not looking for Paranormal Paul right now. I'm looking for my Paranormal Portal. And then I'm going to go to the investigations. Not that one. Where is it? Got it. I guess I have it in reverse order. It's supposed to be on here. I don't see it on here. Let me just go to live. That'll be easier if I just click the live tab. There it is. All right. I just want to show you little snippets of this video, folks. Again. Don't do that. I don't need your advertising. Sorry, you might get a lag spike as this loads. My apologies. It's just the nature of my computer / internet. I don't know why. I don't know if it's lagging the hell out of it right now or not. Looks good, though. Looks good. Okay, so it's just YouTube that was doing that. I'm just trying to get it all queued up here. All right. All right, I'm going to show you a little snippet of the investigation video. You can see for yourself. Here it is. This is the video, and it's called Incredible Haunting Evidence at D-Max Bar. All right, and I think I can do this without copyright because it was my video. Let's see. There's the REM pod going off. That has been sitting quiet.
All night.
All night. Oh, damn leg. Come on. It's not. There it goes. Even if I hold it away. I want to do this, though. I want to crank up the quality. It's not doing it really well. Well, it does get better. Still doing it. There it goes. That's interesting. Okay. Well, anybody here? Nobody's here so far. Nobody's with us yet. You don't have to show off yet. Look at that go, though.
And then when people join it, it'll go quiet.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. We're live, ladies and gentlemen. If anybody's out there or going to be out there, tell Charles hi for me. For I think he meant me. That's Don. Hey, Don.
Hey.
We are just sitting here in REM pod. I'm going to try to get ahead to a little more. It as a female? No. The no went off. Okay. So could we say then that you are... So watch the synchronicity between these three devices. This is the K2 that measures the EM field. This is a REM pod. It does have a temperature sensor, but I didn't turn that part on. I didn't activate the temperature sensor. So these triggers should be just proximity to the antenna. And then this is a proximity detector or a motion distance detector. It uses laser and several different factors to figure proximity to the device, and it only triggers within a certain range depending on how far you spin this dial. But anyway, there are three different sensory methods. Well, let me just wait till it resets, and I'll ask you another question. Thank you for your response. I appreciate that. Just gotta wait. Okay. So are you a male? Is that correct? Are you a male? Make the devices go off. If you are male, hope they're not regarded as an it. Well, I mean, could be something that's not human. No, it's not male, apparently. The no went up.
K2.
And the K2,
yep.
But no REM pod. This and this. Nothing from the REM pod. So are you more androgynous? Are you neither male nor female? Do you have a gender? Are you non-binary? No, I'm not non-binary. Okay, I don't know. I'm just saying maybe you're a modernly aware spirit. I don't know. Do you have pronouns? I'm just kidding. Sorry. I don't know your pronouns. I'm sorry.
Do you get confused which bathroom to go to?
I don't know. It's very weird. Just to clarify, that was not an attack on anybody's, choices of gender and whatever. It was just us being us. So it wasn't meant to be offensive. So please, if anybody out there took offense to that, please don't. That wasn't the spirit of this at all. It was just us trying to figure out whether this is a male or female, or if maybe it wasn't even human and dealing with gender. Maybe it was never human. Maybe there isn't gender, but then it just kind of spiraled into stupidity like I always do. But it's not meant to make anybody feel like crap. So please understand and accept that as an apology if it did, because sincerely, my goal is never to make people feel bad. So
that was a close one too. It actually beeped. So that was a close hit.
So
then the K2 spiking.
So it was this, then this, and I don't know. The REM pod's being quiet now, but there's plenty of times when it's
so cool, dude.
When it's really popping.
Now the REM
off.
pod's been quiet, so we're getting twos. Two devices triggering in proximity together, but not all three. Can you make the device with the red light in the middle of the cylinder go off again for us? Just to let me know for sure you're hearing. Oh, the K2 keeps spiking though. Can you make that black and red cylinder device with the antenna on it go off again by getting close to that? Or don't you like that device?
Look at that.
No. You cannot. Okay. We got a definite no.
K2.
The K2 spiked right before that went off. So that was two very distinct detections happening. It could be an amalgamation of ghost energy in the building. Yeah, like an egregore. Sure. Could be. It sure could be.
Strong, right?
Yeah, I saw that. It blew up almost to the red. That's a big hit. Facility review. Okay. This is incredible stuff. Only 10 of you are here, but I guess usually I'm broadcasting at 7 p.m., so I'm sure most of our audience is already asleep, all of our regulars, but I'm glad you 10 are here to see this. But I only got 6 likes. How does that work?
It says no.
We're out here braving the elements, and we got 6 likes. Really freaky. I got to go look and figure that one out. Oh, he's talking to Freaky, not me. Oh, there's a side conversation going on. You only see 4 likes? I got 7 likes now. I'm here, just finished my own show. Very cool, Nathan. Appreciate it. I was 88 minutes early for Bigfoot Michigan Rob stream. And I was actually reading until showtime. Well, that's dedication. That's a good fan right there. So, very interesting stuff.
Let's jump ahead a little bit
It
here.
can still trigger it.
Damn ads.
Bi-directional. It's either on this side or the opposite side that way. It's not in front at all. And it's not behind. It has to be either on the right or the left. Ooh, REM pod spiking. .5 is what the temperature reads. No, it's not. That's what it says, 61.5. You don't have to say no to everything. Can you make that little ball in the middle light up now? Since it's right in there, Spirit is messing with us now. Yeah.
Yes, it is, Cal. It's locally, it's very well known as a haunted bar. There's apparently largely believed to be 2 spirits. Perry, a former owner who had owned this D-Max and lived in the apartment upstairs and passed away there and is believed to still be present. Another one is a female spirit. And at the beginning of this, Charles goes into the story, but she was believed to be potentially a working girl when this was a speakeasy or some kind of brothel. So this building has been many things through the years, going back into the 1800s. And as with any place that has that much history, apparently she met her end in a real tragic way. Not really clear on the specifics of that, but she's believed to haunt this place as well. Now, is that for sure who's here? No, but that's the general expectation or consensus, and that could lead to an egregore amalgamation, right? That's very possible. So yeah, it's pretty well documented in the area that this is an active place. The female restroom is actually really active, and many women report getting their hair pulled there. Many of the regulars, have had lots of experiences in there. The door rattling on the stall when nobody else is in there, things like that. Really creepy stuff. So I don't know, but who knows if it was always a restroom? You know, it may have been some other part of a building, a historical building that is laid out completely different now, but that's still a space that has a presence.
Are you a spirit?
Are you a spiritual entity? Are you something else? Were you human? Did you live a human life? Man, we got nothing now.
Is there something in
Oh,
the...
it said no.
Oh, no.
Are you? Yeah, that's a great question, Rob. Let's wait till it resets and we'll ask. We'll ask. It'll reset in a second here. It could be, Nate. That's a good question.
Sorry,
Says maybe an elemental.
you
Are
can't.
you an elemental spirit?
You can't see the actual chat on this screen, but if you watch the video replay, you'll see the chat as it's happening on the edge of the video.
Are you in between realms? Are you in between the living and the next world? Is that where you live?
Is there something in the bathroom?
I'm gonna move ahead a little bit. I should have disabled the ads for this. Sorry. I'm doing some free publicity for, I have this cushion actually. I am sitting on it right now. It's really nice. I did order it because I'm in this chair too long and I was getting some sore ass syndrome. So I was like, I got to get that. So I do recommend it actually. Whoops. I got to turn this.
I don't know. Depends on your perspective.
Okay, so Charles gets his K2 out.
Are you?
And this is also
It's feeling
very-
icy in front of me now.
Okay.
Like coming from the other side of the table. It's not coming from the side anymore.
Now there's a second K2 here.
Oh, look at that. They both, yours is going like a Christmas tree. And mine's spiking too, dude. Wow, both of them just lit up. Yours is much brighter than mine. Wonder if I need a new battery.
Probably so.
Probably so. I don't think I've changed that battery forever. It sucks you got to use a screwdriver to change it. Ooh, Charles has got the dowsing rods. The coldness is kind of past now. But you're still getting huge spikes.
See, now his is
On
lit
your
up.
K2.
And you can see mine. Well, maybe you can't. at
So
this
are you
angle.
hanging out by those devices? Is that what you're doing right now?
But it's
It
now
still
it's
feels
just
really
hitting
cold.
Charles's
I
K2.
feel it.
Yeah, you feel it too? Yeah, you got your sleeves up. I got my sleeves down and my arms are just icy right now from putting them on the table. Are you on the table? Is that where you are? That was a big
Right.
spike on your K2. Well, we appreciate it. Do you absorb heat energy? Is that one of the ways that you...
Look at the
Yes.
green.
Yes. So the cold we're feeling is because you're absorbing the heat energy. Okay.
No.
Now it says no.
It says
Okay.
no.
What does the double mean?
That just means it's two answers because they both can light up independently.
Okay.
Wow. That's cool, dude.
That was awesome.
That was awesome. Thank you so much for interacting
Is that
and
the-
answering
Is that the first yes?
for a long time.
Yeah, me too. Sinfully.
Maybe even during this broadcast. So that's really cool. I got huge chills. So as we're feeling cold, that's actually you moving around us. Is that correct? That's a great question, Rob. I'll ask that. I just want to give a pause to let it answer what I just asked, but it may not choose to. I mean, there's no reason it would have to if it chooses not to.
Full disclosure, it never does light up that cat ball. And that's kind of bizarre considering it was lighting up everything else. But I've had that experience here when I did live investigations in the studio. I'd have the REM pod out, the flashlight, the cat ball, and then the sound, the portal build that I have. And everything else would get activated. The flashlight, the cat ball, and some really convincing audio evidence. But it would never trigger the REM pod except for one time, just a quick little blip. So I think there's some devices that maybe concern them for whatever reason. And it's hard to know. But in this instance, the cat ball never gets touched, never goes off even once. And the REM pod here in my studio will never go off, even though I get compelling evidence from other items. It's really strange. It would have been great if we would have got the 4. If we would have got, the 5. Every device would have fired off. That would have been like, wow. But it just never happened. The cat ball just stayed absolutely
Nothing on the
unused.
On the dowsing rods? Okay. So have you crossed over? That was a big spike on yours again. Have you crossed over to the next world after life? Or is that where, I guess I can't stack questions. That's stupid. I just get excited, you know.
Right.
Oh, look at that. Yours is just blaring, dude.
And there's the no on the yes, no.
Oh, no. Okay, you have not crossed over. Okay.
It's time to wake people up to this deep.
No, it's not. It's time to quit playing ads on my stream. Great show again, but.
To cross over? Oh, I'm feeling cold again. Is it not? No, it's not possible for you to cross over. Oh, wow. Look at that, dude. That is intense. I'm feeling lots of cold. It's coming right from in front of me.
I'm feeling it now.
Both of my arms. Yeah, it's like icy.
Yeah.
That just came out of nowhere, dude. Before it was from the left.
Right.
And now it's coming right in front of me. I can
Yes.
feel it on my
See the
face,
yes?
on both of my arms, both of my legs.
We got a yes.
Do you have a mess? Yeah, we got a yes. Okay. Do you have a message that you'd like to share? Lots of activity, dude. Well, your K2 is just glowing. I don't know for sure. You have to drill into it, Freaky. If we can get enough intelligent responses to ask like 20 questions. It's kind of the 20 questions game, except with spiritual entities. We don't know, and we're not doing audio recording now other than the stream. So, that would probably have been good if we had an audio recorder, just looking for any EVPs. But I'm doing a lot of talking because I'm streaming as well. So it's kind of hard to sit quietly while that happens. Not currently. We haven't done it yet. We've been doing mostly this device stuff so far tonight, but our camera mic may pick it up. Yeah, if you guys have headphones on, you may end up hearing something that I can't hear with my.
But anyway, this is the video. There it goes on. Obviously, it's an hour 34 minutes, and there's just some great activity happening here. I wanted to shoot ahead a little bit when he got the spirit talker out. If we could, I might get an ad when I play this.
Okay. Correct. Okay. Oh. Do you have a name you can tell us, please? So we know how to refer to you? Just for the record, if it says Satan, I'm going home. I'm just saying, I'm just putting it out there. Oh, it says no on the yes, no detector. Good, I'm glad that's not your name. Oh, look at that K2. That's blowing up, dude. Mine's even blowing up now. But could you please give us a name to call you? Prayers for the spirits from SoCal Squatcher. Thank you, guys. Of course, it's always our objective to help if we can. This is all interesting to make contact, but it's also if we can help a spirit that's stuck to get home, then of course we're going to lend our prayers and hopefully help. That came up. Hey, Hardwick.
There's one more
Is it
thing I want
trigger
you guys
again?
to see.
Second time.
Okay, let's see if the devices trigger now. Are you triggering the devices? Is that what you're telling us? Show us. There goes the K2.
See, that was so intelligent.
Don't sleep here. Are you serious?
Where is
Well, this is where we're sleeping. What do you?
Here's
Over
where-
there on a couple air mattresses. So,
I just said it
I
there.
mean, guys, I'm
That's what I
convinced
wanted
we're
to
talking
point out.
somebody that is here, some presence. I don't know who the presence is. Might be Jeremiah. Might be, what was the other one? Catherine or something. Look at that trigger
K2
spike. Jeez.
Metal.
Florence.
Florence. Would that say
Metal.
metal?
Metal.
Well, there's metal around here. But thank you so much for everybody that tuned in and was a part of this. I think we're going to kill the live stream now, and we're going to continue on. We'll be here till morning. We're actually sleeping over in that room over there on a couple air mattresses. So
pay attention to the fact that I just said that.
I don't know. Do you have an air mattress?
No.
Where do you sleep? Just on the floor?
Just on the floor. Blanket.
You're a beast. Emma.
Emma.
Yeah, good night, Eric. Thank you guys for being here.
Yeah,
and
thank you all.
I hope you all enjoyed this. I am just thrilled beyond measure that we captured all of this on a live stream with all of you. Also because I don't have to make a video now. It's already live.
Malefaction.
Thank you for taking us with you. Yeah, my pleasure, Eric. I really appreciate it. What did that last one say?
Malefaction. I don't even know what that means.
What is malefaction?
It's Malefaction.
Wow, that's too big a word for me.
Jeez. Oh, I love these bookshelf things, just for the record. I think they're cool.
I don't even know what that means. The pyramid says no, and then it stopped. I'm not sure what a malefaction is. I'm going to have to Google that unless somebody wants to Google it and find out what is malefaction. That's the word that came up.
And Rob,
Hey, Hardwick.
Rob
Did they
did do
trigger
that.
again?
Trigger for the second time.
Okay, let's see if the devices trigger now. Are you triggering the devices? Is that what you're telling us? Show us. There goes the K2.
Don't sleep here.
There it
Don't
is.
sleep here. Are you serious? Well, this is where we're sleeping. What do you mean don't sleep here?
I've been following you.
I've been following you.
That's creepy.
What the hell? Why are you following us? Charles, what have you brought me into? It said don't sleep here. What are the odds? I mean, seriously, there goes the REM pod. What are the odds that it was?
That's
I just said we're going to sleep over there in that room in the distance, and it said don't sleep here. Are you freaking kidding me? That is off the
Then
charts.
I've been following you. That's
I've been following you.
very
That's
creepy.
yeah, that's not at all creepy as hell. Wow. I'm almost speechless. That was just such an incredible correlation. We are sleeping here though. Got here at the end. Well, you kind of came for the right part. I mean, honestly, it's been an incredible stream here. We've had malefaction, evil deed or wrongdoing is what malefaction is. Okay. So did you do an evil deed? Is that what's going on? Is that why you're stuck and need prayers? We'll certainly pray for you. What does it say?
My throat.
My throat? Oh, okay. Did you hang? Did somebody hang you?
Anyway, I just wanted to bring you guys a little bit of this onto the stream, maybe a lot of it, but there was some great moments here that were captured, showing some pretty incredible stuff. Again, this is on the YouTube page. Just go to the tab that just says live at the top. You know, you got the menu going across on YouTube. It's the easiest way to find it. What camcorder is that? That's a Sony. I can't remember. It's a 4K though. It's a great little camcorder. Great handheld. Did anything happen the next day? Not for me, no. Although I got home and had some weird light flickering that I'd never had before, but it could have been power issues, because it was like a light and the blower on my heater both went on and off a couple times, but then we're just fine. Now, none of the rest of the lights in the house did it, but it did it right where next to where I was sitting, so that was unusual, but I can't say it was paranormal. And after that, it's just been fine. Now, again, there's a lot that I do after the fact of an investigation, especially before I leave a location. I have a series of steps that I do, prayers, statements, that kind of thing. And I'm, constantly wearing stones of protection and items of protection. So there's a lot of steps that I personally take to make sure that I don't bring anything home, and it seems to work. But yeah, nothing much as far as follow up from that. I am really looking forward to going back there again, though. I think the owner will be plenty happy. But this is called Incredible Haunting Evidence at D-Max Bar. It's on our YouTube page. It's not uploaded anywhere else, but just check it out if you can, and check out the whole thing. I think there was plenty of pretty incredible material and evidence. I would really believe this. The fact that it was triggering multiple devices is what really sells it for me. If one device goes off and you have several options and only one goes off, it can still be paranormal, but it's hard to correlate it against other random factors. But when you get several different detection methods going off, that to me is so powerful. Yeah, absolutely, Cal. I agree. Spirit rescue is one of the best things you can do karmically, like helping your fellow man in this life. Amen. Yeah, I mean, it's a tragic thing to think people might be stuck. But I just wanted to share that with you. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I just wanted to take a little bit. Paranormal Portal. Charles has good vibes. Charles is about the nicest, I mean, like literally the nicest man that I have ever met in my life. And it's funny because if he's not talking and he's just looking at you, he looks like a total badass. I mean, he's short, but he just looks like he could rip your lips off. But then he starts talking and he's just the nicest guy that you'll ever meet. I do love that man. I really do. I mean that sincerely. Like, he is just an amazing. You know what? I didn't turn it on tonight, did I, Rachel? I did not. That would have been interesting, especially while I was playing these videos. I forgot about that. I guess we could turn it on.
Paranormal detector.
Let me do that. We'll get a little mini session in here. What's the date? December 11th. We're going to turn it on now just to see if anything got stirred up. 2024. There we go. And the reason I do that is because it does actually chart anything that happens that you can refer back to it later if you need to. There we go. Okay, the ghost radar is up, and if there's anything that was watching that with us and would like to make itself known, then I guess you could do that through the ghost radar. Yeah, wouldn't that have been something? I didn't even think about that. I don't know where's my head at, but anyway, I do want to make a note, make a mention. I get that a lot because I have a beard. People say I look mean. Yeah, I mean, Charles is just really the sweetest man. I just think he's amazing, and he's just kind. I've never seen that guy. I've, spent several investigations with him. You're always dealing with the same person, just this kind, gracious, pleasant person to be around. It's like hanging out with Santa Claus. Honest to God, I don't know how else to put it. He's just got that kind of a light, wonderful, warm spirit. Like, I couldn't even imagine him ever getting mad. Like, he just doesn't seem to be capable of it. He's just such a marvelous person. I'm just very fortunate and blessed to have met him. Charles looks nicer than me. Yeah, I don't know what you look like, Grandizer, but you seem like a wonderful guy too. Do a podcast with a ghost. If you could rely on the communication, that would be amazing. But You just can't. They might answer you for 3 questions and then just blow you off for the next hour. None of this stuff is consistent, and that's the hard part about it. It's like, how do you continue to inspire communication? And so you just do what you can, I guess. It seemed to really enjoy the fact that we were streaming, though. That and maybe it was something about streaming this live was amplifying their energy field. I don't know. It was just really intense, really, really, really cool. So I'm just wanted to share that with you guys, but it's on the YouTube. If you guys want to check it out, that would be really cool. Brent, do you think a laser thermometer would be useful for future investigations? Yeah, it could be. It could be. I don't have one. But I've often seen investigators using them and been able to document cold locations. I do have a FLIR, and I never whipped that out. That would have been cool to see if that would have showed up visually on the FLIR. Again, we had a temperature sensor that was that big black box with the blue LED screen on it that was only detecting fluctuations in tenths of degrees. It was not detecting the ice cold that we felt, which was very interesting. So, do you plan to use to do a vid on the history of that establishment? Is it worth the time for a lot of history there? I would have to do a lot of research. I know Charles has researched it a lot, but it's not like it couldn't happen that I could do a compilation of all of the different videos of the times that I've been there and put it together with some kind of introductory video about the place and about the claims. But I'd like to sit down and interview Matt, the owner, and have him tell the stories of things that people have experienced. And if any of the other staff have experiences, they could do it and do it in an interview as well as showcasing some of this evidence, because it's pretty intense. Again, the other 2 times I was there, it was very ambiguous. Like maybe something's going on, but maybe not. But anyway, I think I'm trying to remember the kind of camera it is. It's a Sony 4K Handycam or something like that, but it's got the Zeiss lens. It's really, really nice. Takes great video. Brent, who do you feel the ghost was? The old owner or the lady of the night? Do you feel any emotion? I don't think it was either, to be honest with you. I never got any kind of vibe about it being either Perry or Maddie. Maddie's the name of the girl spirit. Finally came back to me, Maddie. It could have been her. I don't know. I definitely didn't have the feeling that it was Perry, the owner. I don't know why. It's just intuitive, I guess. But if it was Maddie, that's possible. But I just felt like it was something else to me. Like, a lot of times people go into, it's actually one of my, I hate to say it, but it's actually one of my pet peeves, because we really don't know what is occupying an area, but we always have these stories that you learn about. And then, so people, when they go and investigate, they're talking to the expected apparition. There might be 5 other apparitions or spirits around. I shouldn't say apparitions, spirits around, but they're like, oh, is talking to Phil, not me. I'll just sit back and wait then, or just sit back and do nothing, because we're not really addressing them. We're always coming in with, Steve, when that happened, what happened? Did you drown in that lake? Were you pushed into the water? And it's not Steve at all. And the spirit never drowned. It was, maybe has a whole different story. Maybe it found the place at some point. So excellent investigation. Thank you, Maggie. Honestly, I get asked this question a lot, where if you could investigate anywhere, where would it be? And it would be everywhere. I mean, everywhere that there's locations. I would be, honestly, if there was a dark location, that would be a little more tentative for me, because, like I said, I don't generally get scared. I don't think that I've ever been scared on an investigation, but I've seen some pretty cool stuff, but it's mostly triggers like this. So it's not like, a chair is flying at me or something. That might be a little more real and a little more hard to process. But everything that I've seen and experienced in the spirits, experiences that I've had, ghostly experiences, none of it's been really aggressive. It's just been some pretty profound demonstrations. But I would be much more tentative about investigating a real dark, horrible, evil place. And, because I think there are very dark and horrible things out there. And you run a greater risk of dragging something along with you. And maybe the prayers don't work as well on it because, for whatever reasons. And then you're dealing with something really horrible. Or introducing it to your home or something like that. So I would literally like to investigate anywhere. I really have thoroughly enjoyed investigating for this paranormal stuff. I love it. So the one place I have asked for those that do research in mystics is the old Church of Satan in San Fran. That is was the original church set up in the 60s. Was that by LaVey, Anton LaVey? Was that his church? If so, his brand of Satanism wasn't really as diabolical as some of the other brands. His was more of almost like a counterculture in a lot of ways. Like it was, of course they used a lot of the same calling cards, but his was more of almost like anarchy or whatever than it was, sadistic, truly dark, horrible practices. Not to say there wasn't any, I don't know. But what I understand about him, LaVey wasn't into like burn the world. He was just more of like a counterculture figure, more of an opposition of established religion than it was a dark, horrible practice. However, I did hear an apocryphal story about his death, that when he was dying, he got suddenly terrified and said, "Wait, no, it wasn't supposed to be like this. No, it wasn't." And then he died. So I don't know what he saw in his last moments, if that's a true story, but it sounds like he might have seen something horrible. And all of a sudden using the name of Satan and worshiping like that to that potential energy may not have worked out real well for him. So some practices done there, evil orgies. Yeah, there could have been that. I'm sure there were probably orgies and other sexual practices there, but that's again, is it necessarily evil? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not really well versed on this, just things. Yeah. Cal says LaVey had more of a business model, right? Brent, say again, what was his last words? Something about when he was dying. It's just an apocryphal tale I heard, but that when he was dying, it was like all of a sudden he was laying in his deathbed and all of a sudden his eyes got big and he got terrified. And he's like, no, it's not supposed to be like this. This wasn't supposed to be. No. And then passed away. So I don't know verbatim if that's the words, but it's generally like that. Yeah. Have you ever tried dowsing? Yeah, with Charles, when we were at the Davenport Hotel, the first and only time I tried dowsing, it was really interesting. We had an incredible experiences in the clown room. If you watch the video, it's not on the video. It was done before we were recording, but he held a pair and I held a pair. Yeah. Moral of the story is don't die. Yeah. Stay alive if you're going to start worshiping dark things. It doesn't usually work out at the end. So we were both holding the rods towards each other. Charles was facing me. I was facing him. The rod on my right and Charles's left hand, in unison, they were started out pointing exactly at each other like parallel lines. Both of our rods being held as steadily as we could in the exact same motion. My rod on this hand went like this all the way over and all the way back. And while it did that, Charles's mirrored it identically. Not like kind of in the same. It was an identical motion with identical timing for both of us, standing just like 2 feet apart. And we're both like, whoa, and we both had the tingly chills while this was happening. So that was my one experience dowsing. I think dowsing rods are fantastic. And in fact, dowsing has been utilized by many cultures for generations and generations, probably centuries, for water witching, gold, oil. You can douse for anything. And so it seems to be that you connect with, and I don't think it's connecting to another intelligence per se. I just think that it's a method of tuning into something, and these rods can interact with your higher self and bring you to where this thing is. So, but there was a study done by some university, and it had to do with hydrologists. There was kind of a challenge set up between a dowser and a team from a university dealing with hydrology, and they were looking at this specific plot of land. And the university team went through and mapped out where they thought the best places to drill for water were, and the dowser went through and dowsed around and found the areas he said were best for water, and they drilled all those sites. The dowser was at like 86% correct, and the university team was like at 40% correct. So there is something really profoundly amazing going on. It's been used, like I said, for centuries. So dowsing is a very powerful method, and I don't think it's dark or anything, really creepy or anything. It's not like a Ouija board. It's energy follows intention, and I think these rods kind of act as an antenna to what we want. We're manifesting a desire for something, and these rods are acting as a medium, helping us tune into the energy of these things. And so that's my belief. You don't have to take that to the bank. If you think that stuff is evil, more power to you. You might be right. I might be wrong, but I'm just sharing my belief. So take it or leave it. Interaction with other energies. Yeah, I mean, you could douse probably for hauntings if you wanted to. Thanks, Brent. That's really interesting. I'm going out with copper rods. Yeah, give it a shot, Maggie. Tell me, but really focus on what you want to find, and and then just walk around, hold them as steady as you can, and see if you get interactions, and then try it from a different direction at the same area with the same attention. See if they cross at the same place, or whatever the indicator is. Sometimes it's moving apart if that's your intention. Sometimes they make an X. Usually it's the X that people consider a positive, like, oh, that's it. So yeah, I think dowsing is pretty powerful stuff. People's own fears manifest instantly in the astral, so every individual's experience will be different. Yeah, good point, Kel. Yeah. We are great manifestors of our experiences and our fears and our, desires and our terrors. Could be by virtue of us actually manifesting it in ourselves and outside of ourselves, or it could be just a matter of resonance. Like when you fear something, you draw it to you. I don't know. Could be an outside consciousness. Could be a projection of your own consciousness. Could be a little of both. Yep. I don't know. Great thoughts, though. Great thoughts, everybody. All right. So we got a little bit of time left. I think we better dive into some more. I think I got some cryptids for us. You guys want to do some cryptids to end out the show? I hope you guys have enjoyed this. It's a little departure from the usual, but I don't get to go out on investigations enough. So when I do, I like to share it with you. And this is the first chance we had to really talk about it together. And I could, in real time explain a little more about what you're seeing. But I hope you guys will check out the video in its full experience. Yeah. So what did Grateful Owl say? I don't want to believe he died. What did Grateful Owl say? I got to go back up and read what Grateful Owl said. I don't know. I'm not seeing it, or I passed it accidentally. Sorry. I would love to have read all of it. Sorry. The Q&A and the investigation is good. Well, thanks, Grandizer. I appreciate that. Okay. Well, thanks, Maggie. Very enjoyable. Very cool. And I always love me the monsters and cryptids. Yes, you do. You've been very upfront about that through the months. All right, let's check it out. Somebody said Tony. Who's Tony? I'm just looking to see if there's a Tony here. I don't know if I haven't said hello to anybody or somebody that came in. Please let me know if I missed you. I'm sorry. Hey, Jed. Good to see you as well. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. I always appreciate it when you guys visit. All right. Oh, God. They were going to build a Church of Satan in Phoenix, but I don't know. They did build it. They got a lot of backlash. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a little, I mean, I'm not really for it personally. I just don't know. I don't think you poke the bear like that. You might get a bear. Sometimes you actually get the bear, and that's not always a good thing. Actually, probably never a good thing. Anyway, let's go to the cryptids. Let's do it. I'm going to go over to this screen, And we're going to dive into it right now. Oh, LaVey dying while astral projecting. Oh, okay. Ah. Is that the story? Is that the story? Brent giving the viewers what they want and need. I'm trying, Grandizer. Can't always give everybody everything they want, but I'm giving you the best show I know how to give you. So, and if that'll just have to be enough. All right, so here we go. We're going to start the journey over on Sasquatch Chronicles blog, and obviously support the site. Visit him. Wes is always posting stuff up over here. It's got some great stuff. This is a quick one. It's December 3rd, footprints in Wenatchee, Washington, so Washington State. A listener writes, my dad and I were skeptics when it came to Bigfoot until today. While up in the hills near Wenatchee, he came across tracks that left no doubt in his mind. Each stride measured nearly 7 feet apart, heading uphill through steep, snowy terrain. The tracks were pressed about 2 feet deep into the snow. My dad is no stranger to the woods, and he spent years navigating those hills and identifying all types of tracks of different animals, but these were different. The tracks were fresh, in untouched snow, in a place where no snowmobiles or people had been. They were massive, unmistakably Bigfoot, and clearly made by something running uphill. This changed everything for us. And there's a video. God bless you, Wes. We'll watch the video in a sec. I just want to keep reading this. Location. So you head up to Wenatchee Heights. You take a left so you don't go up towards Mission Ridge, and it's at the top by the snow park. Keep heading all the way to the top near Clockham, stopping right before the power lines in the open prairies. My dad dropped down to the right to get a better view of the Wenatchee under the fog, since they were sitting on top of it. And as he started dropping down, he saw footprints coming up the hill. Well, it immediately took his breath away because he'd been seeing elk tracks all day, but these were different. When he got off his sled, he looked down in the hole and he couldn't believe his eyes. Even from the snowmobile, seeing those strides and that track gave him an eerie goosebumps kind of feeling. And the more he looked into it, the more certain he became of exactly what it was. Ooh, the dry wintertime coughs have started. Ugh. All right, here we go. Let's check out the video.
I know this sounds crazy, but these are 6-foot strides, right and left foot, and they go all the way. Here's my footprints next to them. There's my footprints. This ain't elk. Holy crap. You know what that is, don't you?
Isn't that crazy? That is just fantastic. That's a great find. That's a hell of a trackway. I wish he had a LiDAR thing on his phone and he could actually scan these prints. Maybe they're not as pristine inside because the snow gets knocked down as the foot is coming up from the step. But, it'd be great if he was able to capture some kind of detail of what is inside those tracks. But clearly, you can see his tracks over here on the edge. And these are much bigger tracks, and the stride is much longer. Whatever made this is very big. That is just incredible. He should have followed them? Well, you got to understand, yeah, you probably would think so, except for the fact that it seems like this is the moment this became real for him. This is the moment this became real. And I think he was kind of like, Yeah, that's real enough. I don't need to see what made these 7-foot spread tracks running uphill. And that's even more impressive because if you're running downhill, it's easy to create a big stride because you can jump and use the drop in the plane as well as, your momentum to carry you forward. Running uphill would bring your feet closer together. It's like harder to get big strides when you're going uphill. And these tracks were clearly going uphill. So I don't know what did that, but it looks like it probably was a Bigfoot. But I think, it's easy for us sitting here to go, yeah, well, you should have followed it. See if you could have caught it. Yeah, but what if you caught it and it didn't like being caught? And even though he might be on a snowmobile, you still may not be able to get away. I mean, God only knows how fast these can go. Who knows how good his sled is or how quick it is. But yeah. So yeah, exactly. I mean, this is a person that maybe had an idea that this could be real, but just kind of disregarded it because he'd never seen anything. It sounds like he was an outdoorsman himself. But then he saw these tracks and he was like, oh my God, this is real. So you got to give him some credit that he did document the tracks. He did get off and explore and check them out. But I don't blame him for not following them as far as he could because you're going to find something at the end of that maybe. And if you do, you got to be ready to deal with that. Even just the terror of seeing it in person, So I don't blame him for not running after it and trying to do that. I don't think we have control over that personally. Fight or flight. Yeah. I think you can get there, but you got to have exposure to that fear. You've got to be able to work through that fear. And I think that fear is primal for us. I think it's perhaps a genetic memory of when we used to maybe battle with these things for the good terrain, back in our ancient ancestors' days, when we were crawling up the food chain. Maybe that's how we got the good land and they got the crappy or rougher land as we kind of won. But, at any rate, there's just a fear that's primal with these things for us. And it's almost like a genetic memory, like, oh, no, don't mess with those guys. So anyway, running uphill, Kate Bush, running up that hill, running up that road with no problem. If I only could make a deal with God. Yep. Great song. All right. So that was the first story on the cryptids. I think that's a great one. A great one. Oh, this is one from Sasquatch Chronicles that I was wanting to read, but I never did. I think I'll save it for Friday on the news. It has to do with sci-fi to reality machine that allows patients to switch bodies. What? You can just trade it in, just like your car. But anyway, that's for another time. Because I'll maybe plug it into the news on Friday. We'll see. Sing it like you know it. I don't want to sing right now. I don't mind singing, actually. I enjoy singing, but I'm not going to do it as I'm doing my shows. You're not here to see me sing stuff. You're here to learn and to talk about this strange and wonderful world we live in. All right, here we go. We're going to move over to Phantoms and Monsters. This is Lon Strickler's site, and a wonderful site. This one doesn't sound as scary. Again, Lon has a lot of published works you can learn about by going over to his site. You can learn about his podcast, Phantoms and Monsters Radio, which is also a channel on YouTube. And you can check out Lon's live streams on Fridays when he does interviews or talks about different topics. Lon is one of the GOATs. He's one of the guys that have been here for decades doing this. He's really literally a pillar in our community. And he's got thousands of encounter reports over there. So definitely go over there and support what he's doing and check out his work, as well as check out his live streams and his podcast. It's Phantoms and Monsters Radio. So, beautiful female humanoid encountered in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, tire warehouse. Beautiful female humanoid. That doesn't sound so creepy, does it? I don't know. Let's see what happens. A truck driver's in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, picking up tires, and he encounters a beautiful woman in the warehouse. But is instantly aware that she may not be human because of her eyes. They got kind of a red deal going on, don't they? Let's see what goes on here. I received the following account. In 2004, I drove my truck to a huge Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania area tire manufacturing factory, and this was the first time I'd been to this tire factory to pick up a load of tires. Well, I walked into the receiving and shipping department. I walked over to a man at a desk. I assumed he was the supervisor, and I told him that I was there to pick up a load of tires for a company, for an Ohio company. And without hesitating, he pointed to a female squatting down in the middle of the room. Well, I saw that she was recording info onto a clipboard from some boxes. This woman had long dark hair and a firm body with no visible fat. You might even say that she was a very beautiful woman who appeared to be in her late 20s. The room was big and very noisy, so I walked up quickly and got very close to her, 2 feet away in a very noisy room, to ask her my questions. Excuse me. Well, she stopped recording data from the boxes and stood straight up, but she did not back up a step. As I had expected she would. And when she stood up from the kneeling position, I saw that she was very tall. She looked me straight into the eyes while she was standing just 2 feet away from me, and she smiled. Almost instantly, without backing up, she opened a second set of eyelids and looked closely at me, with what I assumed were IR sensors. 8 little red dots in each eyeball arranged in 2 vertical columns of, 8, okay, so times 8. 8 little red dots in each eyeball arranged in 2 vertical columns of 4 red LED dots. There were no eye pupils, no lenses or white in color to these inner eyeballs, just these 8 red dot eyes. She was very tall and pretty, and to look at her, she looked very human. But she was definitely not human. Maybe a hybrid humanoid, an AI, or maybe even a reptilian. Just as quickly after she stood up and gazed at me, after scanning me for only 2 seconds, she closed the inner set of eyelids and she calmly answered my questions. Well, I then backed up 1 step and I turned and walked out of the building. I was afraid to go back inside to look at her close up or watch her move about. I would have liked to talk to her again. The hair on the back of my neck stood up, but I showed no fear at that time. But then as I walked quickly out of the building, I became afraid because of what I saw. Well, I moved my truck down to shipping door 27, backed in, and got loaded up. I wanted to go back in and talk to the woman again, but I did not. Today in 2024, I would do just that. Wow. So is that a cryptid? No, maybe not. Maybe not. Sounds like something else is going on there, but God only knows. Huh. I mean, yeah, anything's possible. Again, why a tire factory? Hell, I don't know. That's pretty wild, though. That is creepy, right? Sandy M says that's creepy. Yeah, it is. He was counting her eye dots for 2 seconds. Well, I think you kind of just see that and it's tattooed in your mind and you can count it from the memory. It's like, oh yeah, 4 and 4 is 8. Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. She looked like a young Jane Seymour. He could not resist. No man could. True, Jane Seymour is a beautiful woman. Sounds like a robotoid. Could be. He left out the part where she took him to his... Oh, wait a minute, Grandizer. He never said any of that. We're not going to editorialize that much. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know what to say to that, to be honest with you. All right, let's go to one more. I don't know what time it is. Oh, God, we don't even have time for one more. Because this will be Friday, then we'll get into the 3-foot-tall, black-scaled reptilian humanoid seen near Canberra, Australia. That's for you, Maggie. We'll cover that one on Friday, so we'll dig into that on the Cryptids on Friday's show. By the way, next Wednesday, a week from tonight, I'll be welcoming Tony Rathman and Cherie, his wife, and we're going to be talking about their EVP work with the project they have called Staticom. And they've both been on my podcast prior, last year, I guess, Cherie and Tony, and then Ron Iacovetti and Lourdes Gonzalez were all on together, and we had a great discussion. I think we went about an hour and a half on that show, but it was great. Just a really wonderful discussion with a lot of information. But Cherie and Tony are going to join me next Wednesday on the live show. So if you want to get into that, feel free to bring your questions. And remember to put them in capitals in the chat, and we'll talk with them. And they'll explain the Staticom project, and we'll get into that and all kinds of more about EVP and spirit communications. So that'll be next Wednesday on the live show. I don't have a lot of guests on these live shows, so next week it should be a good one. Will you be at the 2025 conference in Missouri? I will. It is my plan to be there with all the new friends and wonderful friends that I've made with Tex and Paul and Krista and Brandy and Rob and Monica and whoever else is there. It'll be a wonderful time. I'll be there though, for sure. I'll go if I got a rollerblade to get there. But yeah, I'm going to have a table there. So I hope to see you guys there if you can be there in Missouri next September 2025. Unless I'm unable to go for some reason that I don't know yet. But as far as I know, I'm going to be there. So, but I'd love to see you guys there as well. Yeah, I want to say Space Invaders with Christopher Lee, where he had female aliens had their way with the guy. Well, I guess there's worse problems a guy could have, grandizer than that, right? At least it's not like the Twilight Zone where the people were the actual recipe in their ingredient for their cookbook. So I guess that version is much better. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for tonight. I hope you guys had a good time, and thank you so much for being here. Again, check out the live video or the live stream of that investigation, which is now on YouTube, and it's DMAX Bar, and incredible experience, incredible evidence. So I hope you guys will check it out in its entirety. So anyway, that's going to wrap it up for me tonight. Remember, love you all. Be good, be kind, be nice. Take care of each other. Help each other out. Find the magic in every day. And remember to laugh as much as you can. And I'll see you Friday nights for another journey deep into the paranormal portal. Good night, everybody. Roll the credits.